As the first frost of winter descended upon the rolling hills and lush valleys of the English countryside, a long-standing rivalry between the neighbouring villages of Nethercombe and Overton reached its peak. It was a rivalry born not of envy or ill will, but of a mutual love for the age-old tradition of carol singing. For generations the villagers of Nethercombe and Overton had taken great pride in their respective choirs, each believing their own to be the finest in all the land. Each year, as the festive season approached, both choirs would prepare diligently for the annual carol-singing competition, honing their voices and polishing their harmonies to perfection. The Nethercombe choir, led by the venerable Reverend Havisham, was famed for its rich resounding basses and soaring sopranos, their voices blending together in a harmony as sweet and warming as mulled wine. In contrast, the Overton choir, under the watchful eye of the stern yet passionate Miss Agnes Whitley, boasted a masterful command of intricate counterpoint and rousing melodies that could stir the soul of even the most stone-hearted listener. As the day of the competition drew near, the air in both villages was thick with anticipation and excitement. The villagers of Nethercombe and Overton busied themselves with preparations, hanging garlands of holly and ivy and lighting candles in the windows of their homes, casting a warm, welcoming glow across the frost-covered streets. At last, the day of the competition arrived, and the villagers gathered in the great hall that stood on the border between Nethercombe and Overton. The hall was filled with the scent of roasted chestnuts and the sound of laughter, as friends and neighbours greeted one another, their rivalries momentarily forgotten in the spirit of festive goodwill. As the two choirs took to the stage, the audience hushed, their breath bated in anticipation. The Nethercombe choir began, their voices resonating through the hall like the peal of church bells on a crisp winter's morning. Each note was struck with precision and grace, the harmonies intertwining in a tapestry of sound that held the listener spellbound. When the last notes of the Nethercombe choir's performance had faded, the Overton choir took their place, their faces set with determination. As they began to sing, the audience was swept up in the powerful currents of their music, their hearts swelling with emotion as the choir navigated the complex melodies and counterpoint with masterful skill. The competition was fierce, and as the choirs sang their final carols, the villagers found themselves torn, unable to decide which choir was truly the finest. Yet as the last notes of the final carol echoed through the hall, a hush fell upon the gathered villagers, and a sense of unity began to take hold. In that moment, the rivalry between the villages of Nethercombe and Overton seemed to dissolve, replaced by a shared appreciation for the beauty of the music they had created. As the audience rose to their feet in thunderous applause, the members of the two choirs exchanged smiles and nods of mutual respect, their voices united in song. From that day forth, the rivalry between the carol singers of Nethercombe and Overton was transformed into a bond of friendship and camaraderie. Each year, the choirs would come together to share their love of music and celebrate the true spirit of the season, a spirit of goodwill, unity, and harmony that lived on in the hearts of the villagers for generations to come.